The rumored, long-awaited iPhone 17 series has finally made an appearance. The biggest thing about this phone is its super thin design. This is the thinnest iPhone of all time, but it's a very controversial topic. On one hand, you have people who love the slim design. Nothing too bulky, but still easy enough to fit in your hand. And then there's people who worry about the battery compromise. Maybe it's not as structurally sound than a regular, slightly bulkier base phone, or maybe it's just too small. Leads me to wonder, is the iPhone 17 worth buying, and could this be Apple's riskiest decision of 2025? Well, Apple has put some thought behind the phone's structure and durability and equipped it with a sleek titanium frame, making it as strong as possible while also being as thin as possible and not easy to snap like a twig. In fact, this is the only iPhone 17 model that has titanium added to its design. There's also ceramic shield added to the back and the front of the iPhone 17 Air, but this time the front is equipped with the latest ceramic shield 2. We already know how powerful the original ceramic shield can be, so I can only imagine the strides ceramic shield 2 will make. The level of thinness you deem appropriate for this phone is all up to personal preference. It's about 5.6 millimeters in thickness, which is roughly about a stack of 7 or 8 credit cards, give or take. So on top of being surprisingly thin, it's also super lightweight, which makes it easier to handle. There's also this new visor thing that Apple has going on with the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max models. I will definitely have a video to talk about the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max along with the base models, so please make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and be ready. On top of this new visor, the iPhone Air has a 6.5-inch 120Hz ProMotion display with up to 3000 nits peak brightness. This is considerably larger than the previous iPhone 16 series, except for the Pro Max, and it's 0.2 inches larger than the base iPhone 17. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. As you can see, the iPhone Air is only branding one camera. These are one of the trade-offs with having Apple's thinnest phone of all time. Like the iPhone 16e, all it has to show for is a single 48 megapixel fusion camera. 48 megapixels is a very decent and basic resolution, but with no telephoto and no ultra wide, in my opinion, the camera system is kind of whack. If you really don't give a crap about camera quality, then that's something you could shrug off. Otherwise, this isn't an ideal phone for long distance shots, wide angle shots, or shots at various angles in a high resolution. Another trade-off is the battery life, but it's not as bad as you think it is. Before the whole Apple event, there were a ton of rumors talking about the iPhone 17 having a mAh capacity of around 2800 or less, which is an extremely tiny battery for an over $900 price point. But the battery is actually a little bit over 3000 mAh, and it's a bit smaller than the base iPhone 17 as expected. However, the new A19 chip has some serious performance, battery management, and sustainability upgrades, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. This may not be the most original claim, but the iPhone 17 Air seems like the perfect test subject for an Apple foldable. Apple isn't running out of ideas anytime soon. They're trying to see how far they can go with making the thinnest phone possible for their first line of foldable iPhones. At least that's the theory that's going around the internet. But it couldn't be that far from the truth. Hoping. There are probably rumors about the foldable iPhone 18 being made as we speak. On another note, along with introducing the iPhone 17 series, we also received the new A19 series chipset. It's been reported that the A19 has beaten the Ryzen 9 9950X in terms of overall performance. If there's one thing I could say Apple has been consistent with, it's making chipsets that tops the charts when it comes to single core performance. The A19 even tops the Snapdragon 8 Elite when it comes to single core performance. Surprising to no one, the Snapdragon 8 Elite dominates in every other area. But it's exciting seeing these smartphone companies going against expectations and driving these smartphones closer to quality laptop and PC performance. But the iPhone Air doesn't use the standard A19 chip. Instead, it uses the A19 Pro. So its processing performance is actually better than a base model iPhone 17. You also get faster AI performance with the new chip. The A19 powers a variety of new features. Aside from live translation that can be used in both iMessage and the phone app, along with iOS 26, there is also some new features for the front camera. First off, the front camera has been upgraded to an 18 megapixel sensor. There's also a new feature called Center Stage that transitions to a square sensor for a wider FOV, allowing you to take shots in landscape mode without having to rotate your phone whatsoever. There's also a cool new feature called Dual Capture Video, which allows you to record video from both your rear and front camera simultaneously in a FaceTime kind of view, with you at the corner of your screen and your surroundings on the foreground. This makes video recording way more exciting and interesting. Sucks it's reduced to a single camera. The iPhone 17 can be customized to 4 colors: sky blue, light gold, cloud white, and space black. There are also a ton cool new accessories to choose from for the new iPhone 17 series. Before I wrap up the video, of course, I still have to answer a few questions. How much does the iPhone 17 Air cost, and is it worth purchasing? The iPhone 17 Air starts at around $1,000, which is a lot. It's actually $200 more expensive than the base model iPhone 17, with no telephoto camera, no ultra wide, and a very average battery. Is it really worth buying because of its novelty thinness? Well, if you're intrigued by the ultra slim glass pane thickness of the iPhone 17, just be prepared for the trade-offs that come with it. The battery is still pretty manageable in 2025, so it's not completely unusable. It's still all-day battery, but it does have that A19 Pro, which somewhat levels the playing field in terms of performance with its base model. The new camera and video recording features are top-notch, but the lack of a sound camera system makes it unusable to use one of those features. iOS 26 is its own thing, and it will be used with older models like the iPhone 15 and 14 series phones and older. But this model has the second largest display in the lineup, along with 120Hz ProMotion and 3000 nits peak brightness. It's also really durable. Plus, you have the other features like camera control, Apple Intelligence, and the action button. So if you have a phone like the iPhone 14, maybe you still have a 13, a 12, or you might just have a phone from the 15 series, that's something you would probably want to consider. Of course, it all comes down to what fits in your price range. And while I think the iPhone 17 Air being Apple's thinnest phone ever and one of the thinnest smartphones that I've seen, that's incredible. But I feel like this has one of the worst price to performance ratios I've ever seen as well. I get this is Apple saying, hey, look what we can do with a phone that's almost as thin as paper, but in a practical situation, I personally think it has much less value compared to the other models or even phones from the iPhone 16 lineup. Of course, that's just my opinion. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like the video for more content like this. I will be releasing videos reviewing the rest of the iPhone 17 lineup. For more tech reviews, tech talks, tech news, and tech insights, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications. Put your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.